If you want a sex story, I've got a great sex story. My first almost threesome.
In Romania, Bulgaria.
My first almost threesome in Western Romania. So I've never been very successful with women. And then I was on a train when I was about 20 to Bucharest from Munich. And the train stopped at a town in Western Romania. I have no idea what the name is. And they told us that the train was broken down. It wouldn't leave until tomorrow morning. So, stay here for the night and so on. I'm fine. So I went out and said, is there a hotel? There's no hotel. So there's literally nowhere to stay. So I'm walking around. It's getting quite late. And these two very pretty 18-year-old-ish girl sisters, it looks like.
How old are you?
I'm 20. Are walking towards me, and I speak to them in German, and I said, sorry, I'm looking for somewhere to stay, any accommodation, is there a hotel? And they looked at each other in Romanian, and they started giggling. And they said, Sie schlafen mit uns. Like, you're sleeping with me tonight, with us tonight. And I was like, oh, that's an unexpected bonus, So I start following these girls to their house, and this is kind of sexy. And we go to a poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer part of the town. And then we've got these wooden houses, and eventually we come to their house, and it's literally 2 rooms, probably the whole house was the size of this, the main room here, and then 2 rooms. There was an outside toilet, there was 1 single bed, right? And we walked in, and I'm like, it's no problem, we've got two girls, me, I was slimmer then. And then their parents were sitting in the living room. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I can try 2, but taking on the whole family is quite a lot, And I'm just like, this is freaky, man. I've got the parents, and the language isn't great, in terms of communication. And for some reason, they asked for my passport photo, which they then put above the TV, and they gave me a photograph of one of the girls when she was being christened. No idea why. I'm just like, I've got no idea what's going on. This is my life, really, and no idea what's going on. And so then I'm told that the parents do night shift at the factory, and they're off to bed. And I'm thinking, awesome, we're back on, So they go off, and I'm left with these 2 18-year-old girls, and I'm trying to. I'm not very experienced in how to get threesome started, so I thought if I said I was tired, let's go to bed, that will maybe start it. So I said, a bit tired and stuff, I'm going to go to bed now if that's okay. Where am I sleeping? And, well, you're in the bed, of course. I said, great, So I go towards the bed, and then one of the 18-year-olds comes to me, and so I'm like, this is the moment I make my move. So I kind of put my hand on her waist, like top of her bum kind of thing like that, starting to and she just slaps me and says, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. I'm just like, and then she brings me a glass of water. And then they sleep wherever for the night, and I'm there in the bed. But I'm told I have to be out of bed by 7, because then the parents finish their night shift and then into the bed. So I can't be there more than 7. So, my night of threesome hanky-panky isn't going very well, right? In the morning, my train is at 9, and it's like 7:30. They said to me very kindly, the 2 girls, would you like a tour of the town? We'll show you all the sights. And I said, perfect. I've got an hour and a half, great. They took me to the hard currency shop, and they pointed at a pair of Adidas trainers, and they just said, those please. So I had to spend 100 Deutschmarks, buying the shoes for the girls. Oh. So for that money I could have got like a 5-star hotel, dinner, and 3 happy endings, But instead I got a pair of shoes that I never wore. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah.